welcome you all to the seminar on applications of engineering and technology in environment science. Okay. So we are conducting a student seminar on this topic. So these are our key concepts. Now today we have the participants from all the backgrounds. So now Nikhil Kumar is here to present on the rainwater harvesting system. So this session we are running on the rainwater harvesting system and hydraulic properties for the construction of dam. Okay. So first participant of this session is Nikhil Kumar.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Nikhil Kumar and my topic is on rainwater harvesting and management of water resources. The important points: catchment, used to collect and store the captured rainwater. Convenience system, it is used to transport the harvest water from the catchment to the recharge load. Flush, it is used to flush out the first spell of rain. Filter, used for filtering the collected rainwater and removing pollutants. Large tank and the recharge structures, used to store the filtered water ready to use. Several factors play a vital role in the amount of water harvested. Some factors are the quantum of runoff, features of the catchment, impact on the environment, availability of the technology, the capacity of the storage tank, types of the roof, its slope and its material, the frequency, quantity and the quality of the rainfall, the speed and ease with which the rainwater penetrates through the subsoil to recharge the groundwater. Advantages of the rainwater: it is absolutely free to use and clean source of water. It is easy to install. It can be used for many different processes. It is environmentally friendly. It is excellent for irrigation. It reduces the use of groundwater. Disadvantages of rainwater harvesting: regular maintenance required some technical skill for installation, unpredictable rainfall, certain roof types may be silly, chemical or animal dropping, large storage limit. There are two types of methods: sunroof, surface runoff harvesting, rooftop rainwater harvesting. Surface runoff harvesting. Surface runoff rainwater harvesting is a method of collecting rainwater flowing along the ground during the rain will be collected through a tank below the surface to the ground for irrigation and other purposes. And another method, rooftop rainwater harvesting. This is rooftop rainwater harvesting is a method of collecting rainwater where it falls and in which rainwater is captured from the roof catchment of domestic houses or commercial buildings and stored in the tank. Harvested rainwater can be either be stored in a tank or diverted to an artificial recharge system to meet the household commercial needs through storage in tank. Thank you.
Okay, would you suggest for the further development in this technology or method? I mean, what you are going to do in future? What is your suggestion for the further future development in this area? Now we have Praveen Kumar. Yes. So Praveen Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Now this is your turn.
Okay, ma'am.
So Praveen Kumar is now going to speak on the rainwater harvesting system.
Um, Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Praveen Kumar from CSE branch, second year. My roll number is 41. Here I am present my views on the topic of rainwater harvesting and management of water resources. What is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting is a simple process or technology used to conserve rainwater by collecting, storing, conveying, and purifying of rainwater that runs off from rooftops, parks, roads, open grounds, etc. for later use. Why do we harvest rainwater? The rainwater harvest system is one of the best methods practiced and followed to support the conservation of water. Today, scarcity of good quality water has become a significant cause of concern. However, rainwater, which is pure and good of quality, can be used for irrigation, washing, cleaning, bathing, cooking, and also for the other livestock requirements. How to harvest the rainwater? Rainwater harvesting system consists of the following components: catchment, used to collect and store the captured rainwater; conveyance system, it is used to transport the harvest water from the catchment to the recharge zone; flush, it is used to flush out the first spell of rain; filter, used to filtering the collected rainwater and removing pollutants; tanks and the recharge structure used to store the filtered water which is ready to use. What are the different methods of rainwater harvesting? The different methods of rainwater harvesting includes: first, rooftop rainwater harvesting. The rooftop becomes the catchment and the rainwater from the building and houses are collected. The components of the rooftop rainwater harvesting are: first, flush, transportation, catchment, filter; or second one, surface runoff harvesting. It is a system that collects rainwater which flows away as surface runoff. The runoff rainwater is caught and used to recharge aquifers by adopting appropriate techniques. Advantages of rainwater harvesting. The benefits of the rainwater harvesting systems are listed below. First, less cost helps in reducing the water bill, decreases the demand for water, reduces the need for imported water, promotes both water and energy conservation, improves the quality and quantity of groundwater, does not require a filtration system for landscape irrigation. This technology is relatively simple, easy to install and operate. Second, other disadvantages of rainwater harvesting. In addition to the great advantages, the rainwater harvesting system has a few disadvantages like unpredictable rainfall, unavailability of proper storage system, etc. Listed below are a few more disadvantages of the rainwater harvesting process. Regular maintenance is required. Required some technical skills for installation. Limited and no rainfall can limit to the supply of water. If not installed correctly, it may attract mosquitoes and other water diseases. One of the significant drawbacks of the rainwater harvesting system is storage limits. Other relevance today and in future of rainwater harvesting. The global warming is taking its toll on the climate pattern across the world. Rains have become unpredictable in nature, with some regions suffering with usual than longer dry spells. While some regions are hit by insistent rain-hit regions are unable to utilize or control the excess waters. That leads to flood-like situations. Rainwater harvesting can help overcome the problem of flood while also helping in storing excess water, then can help in providing water to the water scarce region. This renewable source of water management can help in the overcoming major water related problems that are not only plaguing the world right now but can have a some impact on the global population and environment in the future. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, what do you suggest for the future development in this area, rainwater harvesting system, or do you have any suggestion to save the environment? Yes.
यस मैम, हम रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग कर सकते हैं मैम, जिससे कि मैम, क्योंकि मैम आगे फ्यूचर में मैम लेस ऑफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर, मतलब पीने योग्य पानी नहीं है, इसीलिए हम रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग करके पानी को पीने योग्य भी बना सकते हैं।
Okay.
थैंक यू मैम।
Okay. Thank you, Praveen. Next participant is roll number 216.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have Divyanshu Dikshit. So Divyanshu is going to present now.
Ma'am,
Yes.
shall I start the
Yes.
presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you
Okay.
can start your presentation.
Very good evening to ma'am for giving me this opportunity, and I would like to throw my gratitude towards Mamta Sagar ma'am for giving me this huge opportunity to present myself at this seminar. So my topic is rainwater harvesting and management of water resource. So first, there is a question that arises in everyone's mind: what is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting is a technology used for collecting and storing rainwater from rooftops, the land surface, or rock attachment using simple techniques such as jars and pots, as well as more complex techniques such as underground check dams. Rainwater harvesting is the accumulation and deposition of rainwater for reuse on site rather than allowing to run off. Uh, then we have uses of rainwater. We charge underground water. Means if there is a lack of underground water due to a lack of rain, so by rainwater harvesting system we can recharge that groundwater and maintain the groundwater level. And second one is diversion. Diversion is the process of diverting water from rooftops like
Yes.
agriculture areas where there is lack of rainfall, we can use rainwater harvesting system. There is a huge advantage also of rainwater harvesting system, and they are rainwater harvesting technologies are simple to install and operate. Local people can be easily trained to implement such technologies, and construction material are also really readily available. Running costs are also almost negligible of rainwater harvesting system. Water collected from roof catchment usually is of acceptable quality for domestic purpose. For example, it does not need some great amount of purification. It is already fresh, and we can use a certain low level filter, and then it can be used as a potable source of water. Uh, how can harvest rainwater? Then a question arises: how can we? So there are techniques that how can we harvest rainwater broadly. There are two ways of harvesting rainwater system. The first one is surface roof of harvesting. The second one is rooftop rainwater harvesting. Surface roof runoff harvesting. In urban areas, rainwater flows away as a surface runoff. This runoff could be caught and used for recharging aquifers and adopting appropriate methods. Rooftop rainwater harvesting RWH, it is abbreviated as it is. It is a system of catching rainwater where it falls. In rooftop harvesting, the roof becomes the catchment and the rainwater is collected from the roof of the house building. This method is less expensive and very effective. So this is all my presentation on rainwater harvesting system. I would like to again thanks ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
future development in this area, or how you are going to contribute in this field, like to save the environment, what you can do, because you are the student of computer science. So in which way?
Ma'am, I can plant more trees. I can. No, I'm chemical engineering. Ma'am, I'm a student of chemical engineering. My branch is chemical engineering.
Okay. So you can do something in this area also, no? Because you are the student of.
Ma'am, I would like to continue my research work after BTech and do PhD in this pollution-free zone, and I will make certain chemicals. That my aim is to make certain chemicals and certain things, that certain fuels that are very eco-friendly and would not contribute anything to pollution. So I am going to do after BTech. I am going to do research and PhD in this environment studies, as I am also a chemical engineering student. So I would like to continue my passion out there. I'm very enthusiastic about environment, and I would like to continue my studies after BTech also.
Okay. Thank you, Divyanshu.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Now we have next participant, roll number 219, Jannat Ansari. Jannat Ansari is here.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now this is your turn.
Ma'am.
Yes.
206.
Yes. Jannat, now this is your
Good
turn.
morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jannat Ansari, and I am a student of chemical engineering, and now I am going to give a presentation on the topic in water harvesting and management of water resources. As we all know that the term rainwater harvesting is taken to mean the immediate collection of rainwater running off surfaces upon which it has fallen directly. It includes that collected within the boundaries of property from roof and surfaces. The harvesting is the simulation or storing of water through scientific techniques from the areas where the rain falls. It involves utilization of rainwater for the domestic or the agricultural purposes. Ma'am, please slide change कर दीजिए.
Yes, Jannat.
Ma'am, slide change. This is the figure in which rainwater harvesting is shown. Second, methods of rainwater harvesting. There are two methods in which we can rain surface runoff harvesting and the rooftop rainwater harvesting. Surface roof runoff harvesting. The flowing as surface runoff is caught and used for recharging efforts by adopting appropriate methods. And the second one roof house building. It can neither be stored in a tank or diverted to artificial recharge system. There are some techniques of rainwater harvesting. The storage of rainwater on surface for future use. The storage of rainwater on surface is a traditional technique, and structures used were underground tanks, ponds, chains, dams, etc. There is a need for rainwater harvesting. Most of the rain falling on the surface tends to follow away rapidly, leaving very large for the recharge of groundwater. As a result, most part of India experience lack of water even for domestic uses. Hence, the need for implementation of measures to ensure that rain falling over a region is tapped as fully as possible through rainwater harvesting, either by recharging it into the ground, aquifers, or storing it for direct use. Ways of rainwater harvesting. Capturing runoff from water from local stream, conserving water through watershed management. It involves utilization of rainwater for Arrogant groundwater tables reduces runoff which choke drains and avoids flooding of roads. It reduces the rate of power consumption. In resorts where rainfall is low, rainwater harvesting has been provided relief to people. Some disadvantages of rainwater harvesting also. Catchment surfaces and guttering surfaces unless they are cleaned, plugged before use. Growth and invasion by insects, lizards and rodents. They can act as a breeding ground for disease vectors if they are not properly maintained. I have taken this reference from https www.jmi.ac.in. Management of water resources. Water resources management is the activity of planning, developing, disturbing, and managing the optimum use of water resources. It is an aspect of water cycle management. The field of water resource management will have to continue to adapt to the current and future issue facing the allocation of water with the growing uncertainties of global climate change and the local term impact of past management actions. This decision making will be even more efficient. It is likely ongoing climate change will lead to situations that have not been encountered. As a result, alternative management strategies, including participatory approaches and adaptive capacity, are increasingly being used to strengthen water decision making. Water for life. Water is basic necessity of life not only for human beings but also for plants and animals. Life begins in water and it is a basic component of every living cell. Water accounts for 65% of our body weight. If we lost even 12% of it, we would die. About 83% of our blood is water. It helps digest our food. Food is oxygen, transport body waste, and control body temperature. We need water in almost every domestic activity from cooking and washing to bathing and sanitation. Water flow for climate. Water to a large extent determines climate. Places near large water bodies are cooler because the water bodies act as large sinks for heat, thus moderating the climate of the areas. Water for agriculture and industry, water for power generation. This nation, canals, tanks, areas, etc. must be desalinated regularly during the summer months. People should be encouraged to receive the ancient practice of protecting trees around tanks. Afforestation of barren, hilly slopes on a water footing should be carried out. Trees withstand drought better than crops. They check dust, replenish streams, provide shade to cattle and man, and give fodder for cattle. Ponds and tanks. Creation of small reservoirs and percolation tanks to hold runoff water must be implemented and maintained well. Counter plugging and planting of grass and trees checks runoff waters and increases the soil capacity to retain moisture. And this is an integrated water resource management cycle. Thank you.
Okay, what is this integrated water resource management? What is this approach? Can you explore?
Ma'am, this tells about the water resources issue, assess water resources policy and strategy developed, IWRM plan formulated, IWRM plan implemented, monitoring and evaluation of implementation.
Okay, so Jannat, how you are going to contribute in this area of water resource management? What you can do for the better water resource management? What is your suggestion? So, being a student of chemical engineering. Do you have any?
We can conserve water.
Yes.
We can conserve water. Use less water. And reduce recycle process is also used.
Okay. Thank Thank you, Jannat. Our next participant is roll number 221, Katyayani Gupta.
Ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes. Anybody want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, roll number 46 मैम छूट गया। मैम कुछ लोग ज्वाइन करना चाह रहे हैं, मैम कर लीजिए।
ओके, ठीक है। So now we have Katyayani Gupta. She is going to present.
Good afternoon. Myself Katyayani Gupta, BTech second year chemical branch. Today I am going to give presentation on rainwater harvesting and management of water resources. Rainwater harvesting. The term rainwater harvesting refers to the direct collection of precipitation falling on the roof or onto the ground without passing through the stage of surface runoff on land. Or rainwater harvesting is a way of capture the rainwater when it rains, store that water above ground or charge the underground and use it later. Types of rainwater harvesting: roof water harvesting and in-situ water harvesting. Roof water harvesting includes collection of the precipitation falling onto the roof or terrace of a building and storing in it sump at a ground level or directing the water on the ground directly after passing through filter media to recharge the groundwater, which is depleting day by day due to concentration. In situ water harvesting is a special type of variety of water harvesting in which the rain incident on a plot of land is harvested there itself by storing it in pit or trench. This method is useful in areas having heavy rainfall with quick runoff, no aquifers to recharge the rainwater, in such a situation there is no need of the traditional approach of collecting from a donor catchment of storing in a recipient area. Advantages of rainwater harvesting: provides self-sufficiency to your water supply, reduce the cost of pumping of the groundwater to meet the ever-increasing demand of water, to supplement domestic water requirement during summer, etc. And disadvantage of the rainwater harvesting: supplies can be containment by bird, animals dropping catchment of surface and guttering surface unless they are clean flushed before use. Management of water resources. Water resources management is the activity of planning, developing, distributing and managing the optimum use of water resources. It is an aspect of water cycle management. The field of water resources management will have to continue to adapt to the current and future issues facing the allocation of water. With the growing uncertainties of global climate change and the long term of impact past management of action, this discussion making will be even more difficult. It is likely to the ongoing climate change, it will lead to situations that have not been encountered. As a result, alternative management of strategies including participatory approaches and adaptive capacities are increasingly being used to strengthen water discussion making. Thank you.
Okay, what do you suggest, Katyayani, for the better water resource management? Is there any suggestion, being a student of chemical engineering, what you can do, how you can contribute in this area?
Ma'am, the two suggestions of the method rainwater harvesting and waste water harvesting. मैम मतलब जो वेस्ट वाटर हो रहा है उनको प्यूरिफाई कलेक्ट करना.
Musharraf Khan, now this is your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Musarraf Khan, and I am going to present on presentation rainwater harvesting and management of water resources. Then total world water supply: 97% of water is in ocean, and 2.5% water is in ice caps and glaciers, and 0.001% is in atmosphere, and 0.0001 is rivers and streams, and 0.009% is in lakes and freshwater, and 0.31% is groundwater. We know over the 70% of our Earth's surface is covered by the water, and more than 97% of Earth's water is in ocean, and 2% is in ice and glaciers. Both are unsuitable for human uses because of salinity, ocean water, and location. The total amount of water for which all the people, plants, and animals on the earth compete is much less than 1% of the total. Water cycle: precipitation, infiltration contributes to groundwater sources, transpiration and surface runoff, and evaporation and condensation. Rainwater harvesting, alternative water sources. Technology used for collecting and storing water for human uses from the rooftops, land surfaces. Decentralized system installed in house, industries, and communities. Where rainwater harvesting is particularly attractive: rural area with no surface water sources, supply from the surface and groundwater surface can't meet the water demand. Urban area: groundwater contaminant with arsenic, and households do not have the capacity to pay the centralized water supply system. Benefit of rainwater harvesting: it has multiple uses like domestic consumption, wet flushing, sprinkling, groundwater recharges, and reduce urban storm runoff and associated flooding and the erosion. Component of rainwater harvesting: catchment and conveyance and after storage and delivery. Conveyance: we can say the gutter and downputs. Gutters are installed to capture the rainwater running off the eaves of the buildings. Storage: storage tanks are flattened out any fluctuation in rainfall of the uses, allowing water uses to be a greater or less extent independent of the rainfall. Types: ferro cement tank, cement rich mortar reinforces with a layer of the wire mesh. And storage tank is shown in the PPT, PVC and concrete tank. Size of storage tank: demand size approaches. A very simple method is used to calculate the largest storage requirement based on the consumption rate and occupancy of the building. Consumption per capita per day is C 20 liters, and number of people per household 6, and longest average dry period is 25 days. Quality of rainwater: the quality of rainwater is relatively good, but it is not free from all impurities. Depends upon type and condition on the catchment and the storage tank. Dust from the soil and a dropping of bird and animal could be the source of the contamination by the bacteria. Method to enhance quality: the first runoff all from the roof should be the discharges through the prevent entry of the impurities from the roof. In case of difficulties in the rejection of the first flow, clean the roof and gutter and beginning of the rainy season. Method to enhancing quality: cleanliness of the roof and storage tank is critical in the maintaining good quality of rainwater. The storage tank requires cleaning, and this is significant when the tank is empty or the least once in a year. Disinfecting rainwater: rainwater can be used for the drinking. It is clear, has no or very little taste or smell, and from the well-maintained system. Rainwater may not be WHO drinking water quality standard specify microbiological quality standard, hence some disinfection of recommended. Disinfection can be done by boiling of water in before consumption, adding chlorine compound bleaching powder in required quantity to the water sources, and using slow sand filtration, solar disinfection, and bibliography, rainwater harvesting and utilization, and environmentally sound approaches for a suitable urban water management, and introduce guides for the decision making. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay,
And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Musharraf. What do you suggest? What is your suggestion for the environment or future development in this area of water source management?
Ma'am, we know 2 to 3% is water is fresh on the earth, so we have to use clearly, and we should planting for more rain. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Musharraf.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, 2 to 7, Mohammed Suhaim.
Yeah, I'm taking one by one. Okay. Ankur Yadav. Ankur Yadav is here. Ankur is here or not?
मैम मेरा छूट गया है पीछे.
So now you can give a presentation.
Ma'am, Ankur Yadav is present.
Okay. ठीक है, present करो. Now, so now Ankur Yadav is going to speak on rainwater harvesting.
Yes, ma'am. Start.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ankur Yadav. I am pursuing BTech Chemical Engineering second year. My topic is rainwater harvesting system and management resources. First off, thank you, Mamta ma'am, for conduct seminar. Rainwater harvesting is the process of collection of rainwater from surfaces on which rainfall, filtering is not storing for multiple uses. It is the collection of and storage of water from surfaces that rain has fallen upon.
Okay, what happened, Ankur?
Rain harvested water can be used in watering livestock, laundry, and flushing toilets. However, you cannot use harvested rainwater for
Yes. Ankur,
Yes.
we are not getting your
Yes, ma'am.
voice.
मैम नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम है, आवाज नहीं आ रही सही से.
थोड़ा speak loudly. Okay. Nobody is getting your voice.
नो मैम.
Ankur,
मैम उसका नेटवर्क इशू है शायद.
okay, now Praveen is here. Roll number 235.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now Praveen Kaushal Prasad is going to speak on rainwater harvesting system. Praveen, now this is your
Yes,
turn.
ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
and good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Praveen Kaushal Prasad. Today I am going to present a brief introduction on the topic of rainwater harvesting and management of water resources. Rainwater harvesting and management of water resources. Rainwater harvesting is a technology used to collect, convey, and store rainwater from relatively clean surfaces like the roof, rock, catchment, or land surfaces. Rainwater management is used to mitigate extreme rainfall event without increasing the capacity of existing sewer system and to mitigate urban heat island problems. There are some methods like water bird, direct pumped, indirect gravity, gravity only, retention ponds, in-ground storage. These are some pictures of in-ground storage water birds applications. Water bird collect rainwater in a container from natural rainfall and or drain pipes. Direct pump divided into two categories, submersible and suction. First one is the pump is placed within the underground tank and the harvested water is pumped directly to WCs or other appliances used daily for domestic purposes. Suction. The pump is located within the control unit of the house. Indirect pump. This type of rainwater harvesting system doesn't rely on gravity to supply water to the outlet. Instead, it pumps the harvested water to a tank which can be at any level in the building. Indirect gravity. This system ensures water is supplied to the outlet by gravity alone. For this, the harvested water is first pumped to the header tank, that is high level tank, and then allowed to free. These are some other examples like retention pond, indirect gravity only. Only power of gravity is needed to feed collected and harvested water to various parts of the households. Gravity only is one of the most energy efficient rainfall harvesting systems. Retention pond. Retention ponds are used to collect surface runoff water and improve the quality of water by natural process like sedimentation, decomposition, disinfection, and soil filtration. In solid storage. Underground storage tanks are very popular in areas where the majority of rainfall occurs in one single season. These underground tanks are insulated and have a very low rate of evaporation. And these are the last pictures, examples of rainwater harvesting system method, indirect pump and gravity only. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Praveen. So, what is your suggestion for the future development in this area? How you are going to contribute to save the environment?
Rainwater is a mixed electrolyte that contains varying amount of major and minor ions.
You are not getting raise your voice.
Rainwater is a mixed electrolyte that contains varying amount of major and minor ions. So by removing sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium chloride, bicarbonate, sulfate ion together with ammonia, which is very harmful in water. So these should be removed from water to harvest the rainwater.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen. Now we have next participant Shweta Soni.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Shweta, now this is your turn.
Okay, ma'am. So, this is Shweta Soni of Chemical Branch, roll number 251. Here's my topic is rainwater harvesting. So, first of all, what is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting is a collection, storage and purification of water. And this water is used for irrigation and other domestic purposes. Ma'am, please change the slide. Next one. So it is basically collection and storage of water, as I had said, and it is used for purposes like irrigation and for domestic purposes, for livestock consumptions, etc., and for watering the trees, etc. And ma'am, please next slide now. So what is the need of rainwater harvesting? As we know that the population of the world is increasing at a drastic rate. So if we won't conserve the water, then there will be no water in future for our future generations. So the basic need of rainwater harvesting is to conserve water for the future, and also for drought. Drought is the major reason why we have to conserve water for the time when we don't have water through rain, etc. And irregular monsoon and depleting groundwater is also the reasons of rainwater harvesting. So what is the goals here is to improve living conditions and substitute groundwater and to recharge groundwater, etc. are the basic goals of rainwater harvesting. Ma'am, please next slide. So rainwater can be harvested in the varieties of ways, but the basic ways of rainwater harvesting is direct from the rooftops. The water can be collected directly from the rooftops, and second is the rainwater can be collected from the open areas like the grounds and pipes and the parks, etc. So major components of rainwater harvesting is the catchment. Ma'am, जरा सा नीचे करिए, please. Catchment, delivery and storage. First we have to catch the water through pipelines, etc., through rooftops, etc. Then we have to deliver it to the storage tanks, and from where we purify it and use it for basic needs. Next slide. So models of rainwater harvesting, there are basically two models of rainwater harvesting. One is the rural model and the second is the urban model. So the rural model. Next slide please. So here the traditional methods of rainwater harvesting comes. The first is tankas, as we can know in the traditional ways like in Gujarat, etc., and Bikaner houses we have tanks for the underground storage of water. Here we built it is built in the courtyard of the main house, and it is polished with lime, etc., from inner side to conserve the water from seeping into the ground. And the peoples of Bikaner have used this water for their basic requirements, as it is doesn't have enough in that areas don't have enough water as they are very hot. So ma'am, next slide please. So here comes gulls and kulls and khadins. These type of rainwater harvesting system are found in hilly areas. So gulls and kulls are basically found in Himalayas, where people build diversion channels for the conservation of water, to divert water to the land fields and irrigation and for irrigation, etc. And khadins, also known as Rora, are designed for agriculture purpose mainly, and it is also like build like channels for the irrigation purpose, or the water falls with the gravity. Next slide please ma'am. And then comes Bawadi or Kunz. They are also traditional ways of water harvesting found in Rajasthan, etc. Next slide. And please show the proper whole slide. Thank you so much. So Bawadi is found in Gujarat or Rajasthan in northern India, and Kunz are found in Kunz are also the underground storage tanks which are built for basically for drinking water problems. Next. comes the urban models of rainwater harvesting. It contains the rooftop catchment and then the water goes from pipelines to the filter units, and after purification these water goes in the storage tanks, and where it goes in the collection pits and used for the basic requirements of the water. Come next. So the basic components of the rainwater harvesting in the urban model is the storage tank and the piping system. We need a proper pipe system and the storage tanks for collection and storage of water. Otherwise we will get contaminated water. Come next slide. So here comes the model of rainwater harvesting. Here we can see that the water from the rooftops goes through the pipeline into the storage tanks, and from where it purifies and used for basic needs. Next. So maximizing resources. Here what is the basic need of rainwater harvesting is to maximize what we have. Like a simple solution is to meet water shortage we had and improve the quality of our groundwater lies in rainwater harvesting. The system is not only easy to install and cost effective, but also undoubtedly the best way to meet the current water crisis. And next. So here comes the advantages of rainwater harvesting. We can see that the rainwater harvesting is the best method because it is really cheap and really easy to install, and also it contains a really flexible technology and can be installed anywhere in any kind, in houses, in grounds, or in open fields, etc. It can supply a buffer. It can supply a buffer of water when there is a water shortage. These are the basic advantages of the rainwater harvesting. And then comes the disadvantages. So the main disadvantage is that it is complex to install. Like it requires technicians to install. If it doesn't install it properly, then it leads to waterborne diseases and other problems. Also, leakage can occur. Bacterial growth can occur, and the maintenance cost is also a burden for the rainwater harvesting systems. So these are the basic disadvantages. So future of rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting system serves as an alternative decentralized water source, especially in the age when groundwater supplies are depleting and municipal water structures are facing high displacement costs. We can see that the groundwater is not as much good like before, and also the water supplied by government is also not very good to use on our daily basis. So this is the basic requirement of the rainwater harvesting. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. So how you are going to contribute in this area?
Ma'am, I can acknowledge people about the proper ways to use water and the systems or the techniques to contribute in the storage and the proper use of water. Through this, I can contribute, or as a chemical engineer, I can develop better ways for the water purification and water storage, better techniques.
Okay, though in this figure the few numbers are given. What it denotes? 1, 2, 4, 3.
Ma'am, this shows how we are going the system of rainwater harvesting, how we are using it, or where we are using it. Like we using it in our washrooms, etc., in ground for plants, etc.
Okay, now number 1 shows, I think this is the tank. Number 1.
No. Yes, ma'am, the water from the tank is going in the ground for various irrigation and purposes. Like we have seen a hand pump here. So firstly we are storing the water in the tank and renewing the groundwater, and then we are using it for the other purposes.
So these are not purposes, no? These are the ways, like 1, 2, 4, 3.
Yes, ma'am, these are the ways. Sorry, ma'am.
This is number 1, and what is number 2?
Ma'am, here we can it is the ground number 3 is the well, and number 4 is the hand pump. The pipes, sorry ma'am, the pipes on the ground.
Which one?
Ma'am, 1 is the tank.
Yes.
2 we can see are the pipes are laying on the ground. 3 is the well and 4 is the hand pump.
Okay, now this is over.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Our next participant is this is untitled presentation. Okay, thank you Shweta for providing us the different materials from the different
Thank you so
areas.
much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
This is the blank slide, I think. Okay, now who one is left from this?
Ma'am, Mohammed Suhaim 227.
Ma'am, roll number 46.
Roll number
Ma'am,
46 is not
switch off.
here. Roll number 46 is not in these.
27. Mohammed Suhaim.
Mohammed Sohaim. Okay, now.
मैम पीपीटी पड़ी होगी मैम उधर ही.
Okay, what is your roll number? PPT. Yes. Tell me your roll number or branch. Naveen,
उस पे नहीं है.
you are going to speak
yes
on
मैम, मेरा भी
hydraulic?
हाइड्रोलिक प्रॉपर्टी है मैम.
Okay, Akhilesh, you are going to speak on hydraulic? Okay.
Yeah ma'am.
Yes ma'am.
Akhilesh and Naveen, these are the two. And anyone else?
Yes ma'am, Mohammed Suhaim from Rainwater Harvesting.
You are on the rain harvesting, हाँ?
Yes ma'am.
मैम
आपका जो टॉपिक था वो भी तो यही था ना क्या? सोहिम, आपका टॉपिक क्या था?
Rainwater Harvesting ma'am.
So now how many minutes we have who are going to speak on hydraulic?
yes ma'am.
Yes ma'am, अखिलेश कुमार मैम.
Akhilesh and Naveen only. And I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
provided you the material also, na? Why the people are not?
नो मैम, मैम मटेरियल नहीं दिख रहा था मैम, बहुत थोड़ा मैम नहीं मिला मैम.
I don't know what is happening, huh?
या
So now we have Mohammed Sohaim.
Yes ma'am.
Okay, so next presentation is going to be started on rainwater harvesting system by Mohammed Sohaim.
Good afternoon all of you. Myself Mohammed Suhaim, roll number 227 from Chemical Branch. I'm here to say something about rainwater harvesting and management of water resources. First of all, we should know about what is rainwater harvesting. The term rainwater harvesting is usually taken to mean the immediate collection of rainwater running off surfaces upon which it has fallen directly. This definition excludes runoff from land watershed into stream, rivers, lakes, etc. It includes water that is collected within the boundaries of the property from roofs and surfaces. The rainwater harvesting is the simple collection or storing of water through scientific techniques from the areas where the rain falls. It involves utilization of rainwater for the domestic or the agriculture purpose. We should know about the method of rainwater harvesting. There are various methods like surface runoff harvesting, rooftop rainwater harvesting. Surface runoff harvesting is the method in which rainwater flowing as surface runoff is caught and used for recharging aquifers by adopting appropriate method. Rooftop rainwater harvesting becomes the catchments and the rainwater is collected from the roof of the building, houses, etc. It can either be stored in a tank or diverted to ag- artificial recharge system. The technique behind is store of rainwater on surface for future use. The storage of rainwater on surface is a traditional techniques and structures used were underground tank, ponds, check dams, wires, etc. After that, we have to know about why, what are the needs for rainwater harvesting. Most of the rain falling on the surface tends to flow away rapidly, leaving very little for the recharge of groundwater. As the result, most part of India experience lack of water even for domestic uses. Hence, the need for implementation of measures to ensure that rain falling over a region is tapped as fully as possible through rainwater harvesting, either by recharging it into the underground aquifers or storing it for direct uses. Ways of rainwater harvesting: capturing runoff from rooftops, roads, capturing runoff from local catchments, capturing seasonal floods water from local streams, conserving water through watershed management. It involves utilization of rainwater for domestic or agriculture purpose. There are advantages of rainwater harvesting and disadvantages of rainwater harvesting. The advantages are reducing runoff, which chokes drains and avoid flooding of roads, provides self-sufficiency to water supply and to supplement domestic water requirements during summer and drought condition. It reduces the rate of power consumption for pumping of water ground for every 1 meter rise in water level. There is a saving of 0.4 kilowatt hours of electricity. In desert where rainfall is low, rainwater harvesting has been providing relief to people. The disadvantages of rainwater harvesting are: supplies can be contaminated by birds, animals, droppings on catchment surfaces and guttering structures unless they are cleaned, flushed before use. Poorly constructed water jars containers can suffer from algal growth and invasion by insect, lizards, and rodents. They can act as a breeding ground for diseases, vectors if they are not properly maintained. That's all. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to say something about rainwater harvesting.
Okay, thank you so much. So what you can do for the better management of water resources, being a student of chemical engineering?
Ma'am, I think we should minimize the water for wasting, washing clothes, washing vehicles or bathing, etc. And we should start a plant for harvesting water for future uses. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any other suggestion?
Yes, ma'am, I think we should start a plant for refining the water.
Okay. Thank you, Soham. So
Thank you, ma'am.
now
मैम केमिकल से अंकुर यादव, मेरा मैम नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम हो गया था आप लोगों में। अंकुर यादव,
this is your PPT.
ये नहीं मैम, दूसरी वाली अंकुर यादव।
I think this one, huh?
So, yes ma'am. मैम ये वाली एक बार दिखा दीजिए ऊपर से, ये वाली।
Ankur Yadav, your presentation start now.
Yes ma'am, my name is Ankur Yadav. I am pursuing BTech Chemical in second year. First off, thank you. Is the of collection, rainfall, filtering, and
Raise your
storing
voice.
for
Actually,
multiple
start your
uses.
presentation again and raise your voice. First, raise your voice.
And rain harvested water can be garden, crop irrigation, watering livestock, laundry, and flushing toilets. You can use harvested rainwater for swimming, bathroom, sink, and kitchen uses because it's not really fit for consumption. Rainwater harvesting systems are considerably maintained since they are not utilized for drinking, cooking, other than system for village usually. Or rainwater rainwater harvesting storage for direct user, recharging for groundwater. Slide. These are water cycle can rainwater harvesting cycle water cycles. Next slide, please. And harvesting rainwater allows the collection of large amount of water and mitigated effect of drought. Most rooftops provide the necessary platform for collecting water. Rainwater is mostly free from harmful chemicals, which makes suitable for irrigation purpose. Another vital benefit is that increase the productivity of the aquifer, resulting in this rise of groundwater level and reduce the need for potable water, extremely essential, particularly in areas low water levels. Storing water undergoing environment friendly, the illogical benefits of rainwater harvesting are minimized. It minimizes the impact of floating by the funneling the water of large tank for recycling and helps reduce the load placed upon the draining system. No land is wasted for storage purpose and no population displacement is implicated therefore. Groundwater is not directly exposed to evaporation and population. Additionally, it helps minimize the possibility to reverse drying up. Then surface runoff harvesting and ground and is named rainwater that cares jinkers called the where water chemical rainwater harvesting particle in India. Next slide, please.
So these are the different areas. You should discuss about this decline in groundwater in Delhi.
In Delhi, water level density was a large one. Yes, ma'am. On Ladakh, which collected a glacial water channel in mountain for glacier villages.
These are the different cases. Like in the Ladakh, we use the jinks, which collect the melting glacier water.
And yes, and can branching from the dams here ruler of in central Karnataka.
What is this Kere? Tank fed by the channel branching off from check dams.
Here is a tank fed channel branching from check dams. Outflow the one tank supplied water another tank.
So it is popular in Kerala. And what we do in the Delhi?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool is water.
Yes.
Cool is used to take the water from glaciers to villages. This one. Why the cool? What is the application of cool?
And then water harvesting and participate in India.
These are the different ways from where to harvest rain. Okay. Rooftops, paved dams, unpaved areas, storm water drains, water bodies and water streams.
Water bodies and water streams.
Okay. So this is a case of that was built in the Mughal times. Rooftop rainwater harvesting.
This picture is the Mughal times.
Downlink pipe surface drains to the adequate to carry rainwater. Shah Jahan has also developed the system in Delhi. for the water the water pipeline in Chandni Chowk, that Shah
Yes,
Jahan.
sir.
It was being done by the Shah Jahan. That was the first system of the first water pipeline system. But I think this is not related to rain. I don't know. But that was developed by the Shah Jahan at the period of the Shah Jahan in Delhi. That was for the water.
Yes, sir.
I don't know it uses the rainwater or not. Assessment of runoff. Okay. So these are the different types of the. Okay, how we can collect. Can you explain this figure? What is this? Ankur, can you explain this figure?
There is a multiple times in the tank of in river for purpose of.
You're not audible. What is the recharge pit? Recharge trench. You have included so much. What is abandoned duct wells?
मैम वॉइस नहीं आ रही मैम एकदम मैम स्क्रीन पे नहीं इसको हो रही.
Okay. So Ankur, what is your suggestion for the future development
Ma'am.
in this area?
Ma'am, I think minimize the water and use it for and only for the essential uses and no waste the water. As a chemical engineer, I think purified best method of.
Okay, now all the thank you Ankur. Now all the presentation have been done. Now
रिक्वेस्ट आ रही मैम, आपके पास एक रिक्वेस्ट आ रही होगी मैम एडमिट करने के लिए. ये फोन की बैटरी शट डाउन होने वाली है. दूसरे फोन से ऐड कर रहा हूँ.
मुझे नहीं पता. What are you saying?
मैम एक रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है, उसे मैम एडमिट कर लीजिए.
क्या करना है?
एडमिट कर लीजिए मैम. रिक्वेस्ट आ रही.
ओके, ठीक है. कौन है? Nobody is here.
यस मैम, अभी कर रहा हूँ.
Okay.
थैंक यू मैम.
ठीक है, तो ये आपका PPT. Now we have Ravish Gautam. Ravish Gautam is going to speak on rainwater harvesting system. Ravish, now this is your turn. Are you here, Ravish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just raise your voice. Okay. Yes. Yes, your presentation start now. What happens? Ravish, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your voice. You are not audible. You start your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Ravish Gautam and my roll number is 46 and my topic is rainwater harvesting. What is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting is a simple process of or technology used to conserve rainwater by collecting, storing, conveying and purifying of rainwater that runs off from rooftops, parks, roads, open ground. It's for later use. Why do we harvest harvest rainwater. The rainwater harvesting system is one of the best methods practiced and followed to support the conservation of water. Today, scarcity of good quality water has become a significant cause of concern. However, rainwater which is pure and of good quality can be used for irrigation, washing, cleaning, bathing, cooking, and also for other livestock requirements. मैम स्लाइड मैम चेंज कीजिए. How to harvest the rainwater? Catchment used to collect and store the captured rainwater. Conveyance system, it is used to transport the harvest water from the catchment to the recharge zone. Plus, it is used to flush out the first spell of rain. Filter used for filtering the collected rainwater and removing pollution. Tanks and the recharge structure used to store the filter water which is ready to use. The process of rainwater harvesting involves the collection and the storage of rainwater. मैम बैक कीजिए स्लाइड. स्लाइड में बैक कीजिएगा पीछे.
What are you saying?
मैम बैक कीजिए बैक. सेकंड स्लाइड. यस मैम. द प्रोसेस ऑफ मैम इससे आगे सेकंड स्लाइड. मैम सेकंड स्लाइड मैम. Yes, ma'am. The process of rainwater harvesting involves the collection and the storage of rainwater with the help of artificially designed systems that run off naturally or man-made catchment areas like rooftops, compounds, rock surface, hill slopes, artificially prepared improves or semi-previous land surface. Ma'am, stand here, sir. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. Yes. What are the different methods of rainwater harvesting? The different method of rainwater harvesting include rooftop rainwater harvesting. The rooftop becomes the catchment and the rainwater from the building and houses are collected. The components of the rooftop rainwater harvesting are first flush and transportation, catchment, filter. Advantage of rainwater harvesting. The benefits of rainwater harvesting system are listed below. First is less cost, help in reducing the water bill, decrease the demand for water, reduce the need for important water, promote both water and energy conservation, does not require a filtration system, both system for landscape irrigation, improve the quality and quantity of groundwater. The technology is relatively simple, easy to install and operate. It reduces soil erosion, stormwater runoff, flooding, and pollution. Next is disadvantage of rainwater harvesting. In addition to the great In addition to the great advantage, the rainwater harvest system has a few new disadvantages like unpredictable rainfall, unavailability of the proper storage system. Its lifts below are a few more disadvantages of a rainwater harvesting process. First one, Regular maintenance is required. Regular some technical skill for installation limited. मैम बैक कीजिए. Yes. If not installed correctly, it may attract mosquitoes and other waterborne disease. One of the significant drawbacks of the rainwater harvest system is storage limits. Change the slide. Yes. Relevance today and in future. The global warming is taking its toll on the climate pattern across the world. Trends have become unpredictable in nature, with some regions suffering with usual than longer dry spells, while some regions are hit by increased rain. Rain-hit regions are unable to utilize or control the excess water that leads to flood-like situation. Rainwater harvesting can help overcome the problem of flood while also helping in storing excess water that can help in providing water to the water scarce region. This renewable source of water management can help in overcoming major water related problems that are not only plugging the world, right? Right, but can have a severe impact on the global population and environment in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ramesh. Now your time is over. So,
Yes.
What is the suggestion for the better water resource management? Do you have any suggestion?
Yes, ma'am. Make a big permanent tank and collect water and use the water for clothing, bathing. In this field, we are use some less purified water.
Okay, I think presentation for the rainwater harvesting group is now over. Thank you, Ramesh. Now we are going to start the presentation on the hydraulic properties of water for construction of dams.
Yeah.
Yes. So now we have. Okay, we can start now. We have Naveen Tripathi. So there are only few participants on this topic. This is a very good topic. So we have few participants. So among which we have Naveen Tripathi. Naveen Tripathi is going to speak on construction of dam, how we can use the hydraulic properties of water, so how it impacts.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So myself Naveen Tripathi. I am from CSE second year. So my topic is hydraulic properties and construction of dam or sewerage system. So my topic contents is a history, what is dam construction and safety. So firstly we discuss about the history. The first huts and shelters were constructed by hand or with simple tools. As cities grew during the Bronze Age, a class of professional craftsmen like carpenters appeared. Occasionally slaves were used for construction work. Second, what is dam? Dam are barriers usually constructed across river to hold back and contain water in a lake. Dams are usually built using concrete or natural materials such as earth and rock. And in cases such as the Hoover Dam and the Three Gorges, are major engineering projects with a construction program lasting many years. And Third one, dam construction. Dam construction is often complex and requires a wide range of professionals from different disciplines. Firstly, civil engineers are generally responsible for determining the best type of dam for the site and for producing technical drawings showing the construction process. And the mechanical engineers will be contracted to design the necessary pipework, walls, and floor gates. Geotechnical engineers will determine whether the rock or soil below the proposed dam is strong enough to accommodate the bed and for determining possible permeability. And in very broad terms, the typical sequence of events for dam construction is as follows. First, river diversion. Water flowing in a river or stream is diverted to create a dry area in which to construct the dam. Lower flows will be capable of diverting through tunnels or channels built around the side of the dam area, usually using explosives where necessary. Second, foundations. The foundation is built below the original ground level with weaker soils or rock removed and replaced with stronger material if necessary. Third one is building the dams. Concrete dams will need a large quantity of ready concrete. So batching plant is often built on site. Concrete is then transferred to the dam either using a system of conveyor belts or using trucks and cranes. Fourth, post construction. Once the dam has been constructed, the reservoir can then be filled. If it has not been during construction, walls and floor gates must be extensively tested and behavior of them must be monitored. And last one, safety. The Reservoir Act 1975 is the updated version of the Reservoir Safety Provisions Act 1930, which introduced safety law of UK reservoir holding 25,000 cubic meter of water or more. The Act provides of a panel of civil engineers who are responsible for checking the safety of a reservoir and their dams. Reservoir owners are legally responsible for maintaining safety, for employing civil engineering to regularly monitor them. Between the panel's inspection, the dam can also be inspected for signs of water leaking under it, which it can gradually create an unstable gravity. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Naveen, for choosing this topic. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
So, what is your suggestion that how you can use
Yeah.
your present education, like you are the student of computer science, how you can contribute
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this area, because computer science engineering student can do the engineering in any area like air filter or in designing of they can contribute by doing the simulation studies. So what is your thinking, or do you have any thought that you have developed during this seminar?
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, involving the digital asset management in this construction of dam, then the future of dam is increasing. So, like I explained the 2 or 3 things. So, firstly, I explained the AI. AI means artificial intelligence, image recognition, facial recognition. Its main purpose, companies now have the ability to utilize or predicate workflow to proactively communicate with prospect based on behavior trends. Then the construction of dam is increasing. And second one is, ma'am, are becoming full-featured and fully integrated content hubs. So incorrectly vast integration and APIs. So we also include these designing software.
Okay, you can search.
Project like that. Yeah, ma'am. Beginning to inspect editions such as image, facial recognition, video, speech to introduce how to very well designing the dam. So we create a software and provide its mechanical and civil engineers and it's work it. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, but you have not included that material in this presentation, PPT. In the PPT,
Yeah, ma'am.
it is not here,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
मैंने इसके बाद पावर ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट पे होगा।
पहले इसको हो जाने दो भाई।
Now who is the next on the hydraulic properties? Akhilesh. Okay, where is your slide, Akhilesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is your slide, Akhilesh?
Yes, ma'am. Please check. मैम आज ही सबमिट किया है मैम सुबह मॉर्निंग में।
हाँ, तो where I should look in which branch? Akhilesh, you are from?
Okay, ma'am. CSC, ma'am. From CSC.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have Akhilesh Kumar with us. So he is going to speak on construction of dam or sewerage system. Akhilesh, your presentation start now.
Okay, ma'am. Hello everyone. My name is Akhilesh Kumar. My topic for today's presentation is the construction of dam. So let's start. So we are talking about the history of construction of dam. So from the beginning, the first huts and the shelters were constructed by hand or with simple tools as cities grew during the Bronze Age. Class of professional craftsmen like bicycles and carpenters appeared. Occasionally, slabs were used for constructor work, and the dams are barriers usually constructed across rivers to hold back and contain water in a lake or reservoir. Dams are usually built using concrete or natural materials such as earth and rock, and in the case of the Hoover Dam and the Tree Gog are major engineering projects with a construction programming having length. So now we are talking about the dam construction. Complex and requires a wide range of professionals from different disciplines. There are several methods of dam construction. The first one is that civil engineers are generally responsible for determining the best type of dam for the site and for producing technical drawings showing the construction process. And the second one is they will engineering geological and hydrologic on the technical details of the site, and the required specification depend on the amount of the involved. Mechanical engineer will be contracted to design the necessary pipework values and fruit gates. Geotechnical engineers will determine whether the rock or soil below the proposed dam is strongly enough to accommodate the weight or. So in a very broad terms, the typically sequence of events for dam construction is as follow. First one is a river diversion. Water flowing is a river or stream diverted to create a dry area in which to construct the dam. Lower flows will be capable of diverting through tunnels or channels built around the side of the dam area. Extracted using explosive very necessary. The second one is the foundation. The foundation is built below the original ground level with weaker soils or rock moved and replaced with stronger materials if necessary. So let's talk about the building the dams. Concrete dams will need a large quantity of ready concrete, so a concrete patching plant is often built on site. Concrete is then transferred to the dam either using a system on conveyor belts or using a crans. The fourth one is the post construction. On the dam has been constructed, the reservoir can then filled with. It can be done during construction, and the behavior of the dam must be monitored. Now finally we are talking about the safety of the dam. The Reservoir Act 1975 is the updated version of Reservoir which institutes safety law for UK reservoirs holding 25,000 cubic meter of water. The dam can also be inspected for signs of water leakage under earth, which can gradually create an unstable cavity. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, is it over? What is Hoover Dam? Can you tell me about that? At the starting you have written about
Yes, ma'am.
about the Bronze Age. In Bronze Age, what we do? There is a Hoover Dam and the three Georges are major engineering project with the construction program lasting. What is this? Dam are usually built using concrete or okay, it is right. Can you tell me something more about Hoover Dam?
What, ma'am?
Hoover Dam, like it is written here, no, in this slide. Hoover Dam. Okay, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Hoover Dam is a concrete arc gravity dam in the Black Confine of the Coronado River, on the border between the U.S. state of Nevada and Arizona.
Okay, what is your suggestion for any work in this area? Like what you can do, how you can contribute in this area? What is your suggestion for the better water resource management? Like
Yes,
by
ma'am.
designing.
The bed.
Yes.
The dam is very necessary for ma'am, like water supply. Dams play an important role in water supply for domestic and industrial use, as well as inland navigation,